Raiders desperately need the cap space from this year to roll over to next year, and that makes this Isaiah Wynn trade that much more difficult. Let me know what you think, and if you think the Raiders should trade for Isaiah Wynn or trade for any right tackle in the NFL. Like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Raiders Rundown. We're going to talk about who's missing at practice, the future of Cleveland Farrell after signing Jordan Jenkins. The Raiders have also released Kenny Young. What does the linebacker room look like? Plus, Nate Hobbs gives Derek Carr his first interception of training camp. All this and more will be discussed on the Raiders Rundown, so make sure you like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Raiders Rundown for more content. Sean Reed of The Athletic is reporting that Cleveland Farrell has missed practice since July 30th, and I think this is a big concern for this guy, because he's in the last year of his contract after we declined his fifth-year option, and then the Raiders have also signed Jordan Jenkins. The Raiders signed Jordan Jenkins. Clearly they want to feel comfortable with him, maybe not to Sean Bauer being the backup edge rushers. Cleveland Farrell, his role on this team was as a backup. We do know earlier this year he talked about how he transitioned to outside linebacker. He's not going to be having his hand on the ground at all this year. He's going to be backing up Chandler Jones and Max Crosby if he's available, and he has not been available, so who knows what the future holds for Cleveland Farrell. The Raiders would not be able to move on from him by just releasing him, because they would offset the amount of money. They would eat $9.2 million in dead money, and I believe they'd only free up $9.2 million as well. So the Raiders really need to find maybe a trade suitor for Cleveland Farrell, or try to get him back to see if he can contribute this year. Josh McDaniels has said that he played against Jordan a lot in the AFC East. We know Jordan Jenkins, this edge rusher, was with the New York Jets for 5 years. And hey, that's what that familiarity will do for you. You know what it's like to have to scheme up against this guy and game plan against this guy, so you know how dangerous he can be. So we don't know how much Jordan Jenkins is getting paid right now. That would actually help us figure out basically who's going to for sure make this 53-man roster in terms of the backup edge rushers. I'm predicting the Raiders are only going to keep 3 backup edge rushers based on what they've done in the past and based off how a lot of depth charts work. So we're going to have Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, obviously being your starters. Who are the 3 that they're going to keep? It's going to be Sean Bauer, Jordan Jenkins, and Malcolm Kuntz. These are the 3 guys that are really in the mix. Yes, we've seen a couple other characters out there in the preseason, but we're talking about the depth chart. Who's number 2? Who's number 3? Who you see playing immediately in that first quarter? It's Kuntz. It's Sean Bauer. It's going to be Jordan Jenkins, I believe, this upcoming Saturday. Josh McDaniels and Patrick Graham are probably going to want to see how this guy competes in comparison to them. Another big story is Josh Jacobs missing some time. He hasn't been around since August 12th, and we often wondered, hey, is he not playing in this Vikings preseason game because he's solidified as the number 1 guy? But it turns out since Jacobs, Denzel Perryman have missed some time since the 12th, we know the preseason game was on the 14th, and perhaps he didn't play just due to injury. We're not sure, but this is something that closely monitors. Josh McDaniels wants to figure out, hey, what does he have in the rest of the running back room? Maybe this is kind of an opportunity. This is an opportunity to give some other guys some reps, not have to put Jacobs out there, because to me, what's the point? He's the number 1 back. But a person who's not the number 1 back right now and is kind of fighting for a legit spot on this depth chart, it's Kenyon Drake. It's Kenyon Drake, and it's kind of sucks because we were hyped up about that Drake and Josh connection prior to the 2021 season, and then Kenyon Drake had the ankle injury, and really it's kind of not gone well since, and it's really not his fault, man. That really sucks when you're dealing with injuries like that. You saw Amir Abdullah get some hype throughout training camp. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated also wrote a report that Amir Abdullah looked great at training camp, and maybe he could fulfill this type of James White role that Josh McDaniels had with the Patriots, but we originally thought Drake was going to fill that role. Now I think there's going to be this competition that we need to look at in this upcoming game against the Dolphins. Hey, how is the Drake versus Abdullah situation panning out? And guess what? Abdullah didn't play against the Vikings, and he was healthy. So this means, according to Big Taper, Abdullah seems a little higher on the depth chart right now than Kenyon Drake. So hopefully Kenyon Drake goes out there, balls out, and gets his spot on this team. Some good news for the Raiders is that Anthony Averett is back in practice. We reported earlier that Trayvon Mullen was back in practice along with Rocky Sam. Nate Hobbs has been there in preseason at camp all the entire time. He's been healthy. But now our 4 top guys are all healthy. So this is going to be really exciting, figuring out who's the number 1 outside guy, number 2 outside, and the slot. Nate Hobbs, we knew, has played the slot historically with the Raiders in 2021. However, we saw him playing outside in preseason, so you often wonder, is he in the mix for that? Is there another competition brewing at slot cornerback? But Nate Hobbs is making his case to be the number 1 quarterback on the team, and that's a great thing. Derek Carr, giving Derek Carr his first interception. Hobbs made a hell of a play and took it to the house. A tough play from Hobbs. Carr's first interception. Competition. Hobbs, we knew, has played the slot historically with the Raiders in 2021. However, we saw him playing outside in preseason, so you often wonder, is he in the mix for that? Is there another competition brewing at slot cornerback? But Hobbs is making his case to be the #1 cornerback on the team, and that's a great thing if you are a Raiders fan. And here he goes, picking off Derek Carr, giving Derek Carr his first interception. Hobbs made a hell of a play and took it to the house. Tough play from Hobbs. Carr's first interception. Camp reported by you, Greg Q, Locked On Raiders. So great to see that Fortnite Hobbs, and like I said, great for us Raiders fans because this guy's on a bargain deal. This guy was selected in like the 5th round of 2021. That means you're going to have this guy cheap for the next few years. He's making roughly $900,000. I think that's next year. I think this year he's making less than that. So hey, it's great to have a great player, and hopefully the Raiders compensate him kindly when the time comes, because you know what? We need some more homebrew talents, more homegrown talent that you compensate, and that shows to other rookies that hey, you need to work hard, because then you could be like Max Crosby, you could be like Hunter Renfrow, and then hopefully Hobbs in the future if it comes to that. Our players get paid when we call out our rookie contracts with the Raiders. That's the message you want to send. So Kenny Young has been released by the Raiders today. That was the move that allowed us to free up the roster spot for Jordan Jenkins. Kenny Young used to be on the Rams, he's a linebacker, and really only appeared in that Jacksonville Jaguars game. So maybe the staff wasn't really high on Kenny Young, who knows, but Vincent Bosnior of the Las Vegas Review-Journal believes this will open up a spot for Luke Masterson, who you've seen playing in both games in preseason. As this linebacker position battle shakes up, you look at who we have right now, who could be the two backups, or maybe actually just probably one guy when you really think about it, to back up Denzel Perryman, Jayon Brown, and Divine Diablo, because I believe the extra linebacker is basically
I get that. It's a legendary guy.
Probably only going to have 2 linebackers out there really most of the time. But Perryman, Diablo, Jayon Brown, we know these guys are probably a lock based on how they're compensated, based on how they've been playing lately. Darian Butler's been making his case. He has a connection with Antonio Pierce, the linebacker coach, being from Arizona State. Curtis Colton signed a little later. We don't know what's happening there, but had some hype when he was a rookie. And also Luke Masterson, who Vincent Bosnior has been talking about. Maybe he could make his case. But this is going to be a tough battle in these next 2 games between these 3 guys, Butler, Bolton, Masterson. I would pay attention to that. If I'm a Raiders fan, who do you think is going to make the roster out of these 3 guys? Based on playing time and what we've seen so far with the depth chart, it really does seem like it's a match between Masterson and Butler for that spot. That personally, if I had to give it to someone, I think I would go with Butler right now. So even though the Raiders have had a lot of people come back, people like Mullen, people like Jonathan Hankins and Bilal Nichols, there's still some people missing in and out. Even Waller came back and now he was gone again today. We're not exactly sure why. Mumford was even missing from practice since yesterday. So the Raiders still have some problems to figure out with their roster. Hopefully everybody comes back healthy though, and we can have a real free, fair, and fun competition for all of these players to make this 53-man roster. Hey, my name is Wi-Fi Willie. Like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Raiders Rundown for more Raiders content. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.
There's plenty of room to explore our wide selection of tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl, and more. Because with everyday low prices on high-quality products and on-trend styles, you can really bring your living room to life. Discover more in Decor today.
Raider Nation, it's Saturday afternoon, and we're going to go through all of the stats, all of the numbers, and the latest analytics surrounding the Raiders versus Jaguars. We're going to talk about who played the most, who didn't play that much, and how well did people perform compared to who they played against and how much time they played. And at the end of this video, I know there's all this talk going on about Josh Jacobs. You see it on television, NBC, NFL Network, Fox Sports. Josh Jacobs is going to be traded from the Las Vegas Raiders because he played in preseason. And even we talked about this on our channel, and I will give you my final thoughts and verdict on it at the end of this video. But first, we're going to go through all this numbers, and there is so much to go through. We are really going to talk about every single position. As you can see, see. There's tons of new numbers that have come out, and I cannot wait to get to it. We're going to start off talking about the defensive line. That's the first thing we need to talk about right off the bat. And that is Malcolm Kuntz having 24 pass rushing snaps and generating 3 pressures. He actually had the most pressures out of any defender by the Raiders against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But we know, it's not the greatest lineup we're going against. If anything, Jacksonville played a little more of their starting defense than they did their offense. However, they did not play Josh Allen at defense at all. But the offensive line, Malcolm Kuntz went against a decent one. You also saw Vernon Butler get some action as well, make a few plays at that nose tackle position. This guy has an opportunity. There is a little window of opportunity for Vernon Butler to at least be number 2 on this depth chart at this nose tackle position if Jonathan Hankins does not come back soon. We know he is currently on the physically unable to perform list, and we got to see what's going to happen with this guy, because if not, we're going to have to roll with Vernon Butler. He's a former first-round pick. Hopefully, he can live up to that. He had the highest pass rush grade out of any defensive lineman in this game for the Raiders, 72.2 PFF pass rushing grade with a 25% pass rushing rate. Now, you're going to have that rate when you only have 8 snaps, but, think about it. He had literally 3 times as few snaps as Malcolm Kuntz, but still almost generated as many pressures, just 1 shy. And that's pretty impressive there. And then you got Matthew Butler, the rookie, 13 pass rush snaps with 1 pressure, not quite as impressive, but still was able to pop a little bit on the screen, having a 7% pass rush rate. So Matthew Butler, somebody else who can maybe be that 3-tech defensive lineman in the sub-defense. That is a role that we think needs to be filled, and some people even thought Dominic Zoo could have been a guy to fill that void. But hopefully the coaching staff is interested in Matthew Butler, and when he can bring to the table there is a role that he can compete for definitely in the regular season. The linebackers, Divine Diablo, the young guy, we're all excited about. Disappointed last year how he performed in preseason against the Raiders. He did well with a 70.4 PFF run defensive grade. Did not play that many snaps at all. We're going to go into how many snaps each of these guys played. As you can see, not much if you only had 4 snaps on run defense. Not much for Diablo. Jaylen Brown got in the mix as well after Diablo. And the one guy, Darian Butler, we're going to talk about him a little bit more. He was somebody I was really excited about.
Who the fuck is this nigga?
He has that Arizona State son.
What's up with everybody just camping, though?
Linebacker coach Antonio Pierce. However, it did not manifest itself on the field. If I will say so myself, Darian Butler had.
Well, nigga just damn near camping, bro.
Led the Raiders in missed tackles.